Hello everyone, I'm back with Torchlight Frontiers. Not gonna be playing Astelia online anymore because it's just too grindy for me. I don't have the time to grind that much and to spend that much time for a single dungeon and to rely that much on the other people of the team in order to have a successful run instead of just doing stuff myself. Just quickly checking if the stream is running correctly, and then I'm gonna go and do some high-bit maps. If you want to, you can let me know, I can invite you and we can do some maps together. Okay, everything seems to be running properly. I'm gonna craft a few more maps. I think I've got 3, should be enough for now. So there's another respec that came. Another respec that came, so I can now play instead of a full ranged build, I can go back to a melee. Maxing this one out, maxing this one out, maxing this one out. And this one, and this one. Here I'm not gonna spend any points into swag shot. I really don't think I need them. This I need though. This I also. I forgot I needed rapid fire and I spent too many points on poison dart. Well, any case, it's not that bad. It's not that bad, but four levels are needed in order to max this one. This might take a while. Okay, let's start mapping. Is this a nimble map? Okay. So until they fix the goblin in the hive, I just don't wanna keep XP at all per map in the Goblin Frontier. Without the Pillage Village, the Goblin Frontier is really not worth doing at all. There's just one map that's kind of okay, and one that's great, and that's it. The Vokey doesn't have a boss currently. One that's great I rarely get, so instead of gambling for a good map in the Goblin Frontier, I'm just gonna... And in the meantime I'm gonna be leveling some new relic weapons to 40. Gonna be playing on my other heroes as usual, so with my mic. But until then, I'm here ready to have a chat, a discussion or whatever.
Time to vent heat.
But yeah, I should have maxed out my rapid fire. I kind of forgot that I need it for this build. I'm gonna try and play with a melee only build because the next in line in regards to builds for the Forge will be melee. Although I think I already posted 2 builds for each class, so next probably would be the mage. I'm just thinking what build, maybe the beam build would be the next for the mage. It will be the melee only build for this guy later on that I'm posting. And then for the Realm Master it will be a shield based build with the shield car, because I haven't made one like those. Thinking whether to go damage based for the melee only build or whether to make him the more tanky version out of all the other builds. And I'm thinking for the melee only build the bleeding would be a nice choice because you would have some extra healing. The other day when I was recording footage for my Train in Flame build on the Realm Master, this map only took me 6 minutes to complete. Like even slightly under 6 minutes if I don't count the time where I'm out and tabbing to start and stop the recording, or to look at my equipment and change equipment and delete equipment and stuff like that. So let's say a bit under 6 minutes. Which for a train build was very impressive, to do the whole map, every single monster, including bosses and everything. This is the kind of gameplay I enjoy from the ARPGs. Compared to MMOs that require a lot of investment, a lot of time invested, and then in the end if you end up having a bad combination of players together with you and you're like a ranger and the last one standing, when all the tanks and healers and other people were dead and you're the last one alive with the boss, then of course you're wasting like a whole hour for nothing. Whereas here you can even sew everything, you can still get the good gear you want. And that's the good thing about ARPGs, you don't have to play them in a group.
Vent excess heat.
Don't require too much time invested for the rewards you're getting. The only problem with this game for me is the XP gain after level 35. That's not much I can do about. Here you know you're gonna do a few maps and then you're gonna get some legendary drop, may not be something you need, but at least it's dropping, and at least it's sure that you're eventually gonna get it, as long as you keep doing maps. You know, you won't have to do shit tons of maps, just a few. Simple sometimes is good, like there may not be like a very in-depth system of crafting like in MMOs, where you upgrade stuff with different runes and then upgrade other things with different things and so on, like layers upon layers of simple games, because you don't have shit tons of RNG in them. You do have RNG in what pet you're getting, but eventually you get them all. You get all the buffs, and then you're gonna be able to make your build. The same goes for the gear. Eventually you will get that item you need for the build you want to play. Gonna be adding more legendaries to suit certain playstyles. Okay, next map. I'm gonna quickly sell before that. I'm sure I've seen this nickname somewhere, it sounds familiar.
Glad you stopped by. How much are you looking to spend? See you next time.
Wait up, waving hand.
Yeah, what up dude, how are you doing? I kind of got disappointed from the end game in Astelia. It's way too imbalanced and too difficult, and it requires a lot of investment, and if just one thing is wrong, the whole group would suffer. Like if one person is not doing their job like a hero or a tank. And it seems too
Yeah, I
grindy.
agree.
It seems too grindy. It's 2019, it's not
They need to change
2001.
lot of things.
Things need to change. The game seems like the old MMOs, which in a way is not a bad thing, but in many ways it is. Many of the systems from the old MMOs don't fit in modern MMOs well. So I'm back to Torchlight Frontiers. It's much pleasant for me playing this
Is
game.
this new Torchlight game?
The new Torchlight game. It's an online Torchlight game where you have open zones with play an MMO is. You have private dungeons inside those zones where it's just you and your group. It has something called horizontal progression, and it's currently in alpha phase. Like it's not even in beta, but it's already well rounded the same way some betas are. So let me quickly show you. This is the two frontiers currently. Goblin Frontier, those are the public zones. So if you go into those zones, there's gonna be other players running around, not just you. And then in those zones you see there's dungeons. Different dungeons with different quests in those dungeons, different monsters to kill, and a boss at the end. In between those zones there's you can see those signposts. That's like again a public zone which just contains a random fort. You do have your own fort. I'm gonna show you later if you wanna see it. Every person has their own fort where they can build some different buildings, they craft some different things. And there's two frontiers, Goblin and Hivit. And you have
I
separate
used to play
levels for each
Torchlight 2, so
frontier.
this piques my interest.
It's amazing, man. The developers are so... Let me quickly copy paste the links from my description. I'm just gonna quickly copy the description. Some links you might need. The official patch notes, ignore that link, I just copy pasted the whole paragraph. But you can sign up for the alpha on a certain link, then there's official Twitch, official YouTube, official Twitter, official Discord. I need to add those on a command, but for now I'm just gonna do it maybe tomorrow.
Hi TLF, I saw new updates, but still there is not enough skills numbers to choose, to make a lot of different builds. Hope developers will add much more skills, to all characters in game.
Exactly, dude. Currently it's alpha. You know that there will be more skills. Each class will have a total of 16 skills.
Hello.
And together with the 16 skills you have your relic weapon, which also levels up to 40 points, and you decide where to spend them. And you can have different relic weapons. There will be more added. Currently we have 3, but they're planning to add way more relic weapons to accommodate for different builds. You know, this game is currently in alpha, but it already feels like it's in beta. And as I was saying to Mukemaru, Mukiamursu, I don't know how to pronounce it, sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong.
I'm putting you on background.
No worries, dude, and nice to see you again. Same goes for Duran. But yeah, the game is currently growing, and it's growing at a steady pace, and the developers are listening to us. They're always asking us for some input. They ask us for releasing a major update. So first of all, with the relic weapons, they asked us what we think about the system, the way they planned it. And there were some people who voiced their opinion about things they didn't like, and some of those things actually got changed before we even got this update with this new relic system. And as I was explaining to Mukia Mursu, yeah, there's that thing called horizontal progression. So you have different levels for the Goblin Frontier and for the Hybrid Frontier. And each frontier has their own items. You can wear item from the wrong frontier, but it will get a 3 levels penalty. So let's say I have 45 Goblin, 45 Hybrid, and I have a 45 Hybrid item. The 45 Hybrid item would immediately be scaled down to 42 Hybrid. Let me quickly try and find an example. See, this one is 44 Goblin, but it is getting that 3 levels penalty because I'm in a 46 Hybrid, so it's getting scaled down to 43. 3 levels from the map I'm doing. So if I go to a 47 Hybrid zone, then this will be 44 and it will be the maximum it can get. So this thing, this wrong frontier penalty, where items 3 frontier level if it's from the same frontier. So if I have 46 Hybrid as you see now, I can wear 49 Hybrid items if I can get them from somewhere, farm them from another character. So as soon as I hit 47, I can use the items which I farmed on my other characters. And there's gonna be more frontiers, there's gonna be more classes, there's gonna be another outpost. Everything is in the Trello board in regards to some and some of the not so shortly upcoming updates, like in the long future. First of all, we have probably a new class and a new frontier coming in the next few months, 2-3 months. One of those would probably come with update 8, but it's just me guessing here, I can't confirm anything. As I said, yeah, you decide to how to level up. I personally would suggest for people to complete the campaigns together. Get one character to 13 Goblin, then to 13 Hybrid, and then start mapping once you complete the the main quest in each frontier, start mapping and do them a few maps in one frontier and a few maps in another frontier. Like 1-2 levels here, 1-2 levels there. This will keep your leveling process steady and you would get half 100 skill points. 100 skill points and you can put 12 skill points in a skill. That's what, 8 skills? And have some spare points. There's gonna be 16 altogether skills for each class. That's gonna be nice. Currently the mage has 11 and the other two classes have 10 skills to pick from. As you can see, I've maxed out all those, and each skill gives itself a bonus. In this case, this gives itself cooldown, and it gives another bonus either to another skill or to something else. This gives me skill damage to this skill, to the relic active skill. This gives me crit chance to all my melee skills. All those 5 skills here are melee. This gives me movement speed. So even if I'm not using the skill, if it stays as a passive only skill as I like to call it, it's still giving me that nice synergy bonus. So this is something nice, something interesting. You decide to level certain skills just to get those synergies. The game used to have passive skills before in the old skill system, but then they removed them. Maybe when they add new frontiers they might bring back some of the passive skills and we can get some passive skill points for the me guessing and being wishful here. I don't think we need more than 100 skill points. Even if they add new skills, probably 100 skill points is more than enough. I don't think we need a higher level cap than 100 for skill points. Yeah, we could have a level 150 cap. But there should be something different that they give us. They should give us something different, not skill points. I'm not sure what would be the best thing. Even if they don't give us anything, it would be balanced. So here's the challenge for the developers, to figure out what to do with the new frontier in regards to level up rewards. Skills would be a good choice as long as they're not too game breaking. And now we already have passives
I
from
signed up
the
for
relic
the
weapon.
Hope I
Good
get
job,
the key.
dude. Good job.
Happy face.
I hope you get the key as well. I can help you out every now and then. We can play together. I don't mind carrying you into high level zones. Also, in a few weeks, maybe 2 weeks, I would be leveling up a new character from scratch. Keep in mind they're inviting more often now. Those past few weeks, few days after update 7 hit, they invited 10,000 people. Or maybe it was a few days before update 7. But in any case, the last wave was 10,000 people, which is a huge number for this game. So every 1 or 2 weeks they are sending invites to people. And it doesn't matter whether you registered 6 months ago or a year ago, a week ago. You have equal chances of getting into the alpha. It's a random script that picks random accounts out of everyone who registered. This is amazing, rapid fire oriented item. I need to change my gear because now I'm wearing my ranged damage gear. That much crit chance now because I'm using mostly melee skills for this build. This would be nice, just to test it. So what if I do something like a poison dart here? I really don't think I need cold launch anymore. Cooldown for this is 4.7 seconds currently. Due to an item I'm wearing, I think it was... sure which item it was. But I had an item that gave me cooldown for Vortex Bomb. Maybe I removed it. Check later, but yeah, I remember I had some item like that. This is also nice extra defense, but I don't think I need the defense that much. Yeah, there's crafting. You can craft some things. Currently there is no crafting for items, but maybe later on in the future they may plan on adding something like this. There's pet skills, so you can have one aura in between crit chance, defense, movement speed, and walk chance. Then there's a stun skill, and then there's buffs. The buffs the pets cast themselves automatically. The same goes for the combat skill. You can have one aura and 3 other skills. This is healing, very nice. I really wish I had this. We don't have the capacity to just keep spamming like a madman the same map in the Goblin Frontier over and over and over again in hopes of getting that pet I need. And if I do map works in the Goblin Frontier currently, the XP rewards from there are very low. With barely any density, they're kind of aware of some issues that occurred and they're working on them. The developers, as I said, are active. One time I posted something about a bug on the Discord, and then a few minutes later one of the developers is whispering me in Discord, asking me to give them some details so they can investigate. Ember skill points, what would that mean? Relic points? I wanna try a melee only build, so maybe Poison Dart would not be the best thing if I want to. Let's try and go for something like this and this. I wanna try the melee only build, and this seems like the build for it. Since I'm making build videos for the game, I think there are many people who are actually doing this. I haven't looked in the last couple of months whether there's other people making builds. But at least I'm gonna be doing that, even though my builds might be more general. They may not be the most meta ones, but this game is in such a nice balanced place at the moment. Regardless of what skills you do, you would still be very powerful. Yes, some skills are obviously more powerful than others, such as Energy Spike on the Mage and Entropy. Both of those are probably the most DPS items. And Entropy, as Fox has mentioned on the forums in one of his posts, Entropy has skill modifiers that you can get from gear, whereas with Energy Spike you can't. And if you boost the damage of Entropy, it can actually be more DPS than Energy Spike, the two most powerful skills. Mage. So yeah, maybe that's kind of some skills are more meta, but regardless whether you pick the meta skills or not, you would still be able to complete everything yourself solo. Yeah, sometimes you might die, but it probably would be due to a mistake or something, not due to you not doing enough damage or not having enough survivability skills and stuff like that. The same goes to me when I get too greedy and I stop dodging attacks, like I can use this to dodge, or even I can rotate around the boss like this. If my pet is the boss now, I can just rotate like that. When needed, I can just with this skill. So there's things that people can do to survive. You have potions and stuff. So what I wanted to show you is the fort. Since you wanted to know more about it. This is the fort, and you kind of customize it. You craft things. You can craft things, you can put them here. This is the space you experiment with. Everyone starts with some default items and the rest you have to craft. Some items are free for everyone, others you get from rewards. Sometimes there would be a system called contract system, which could reward you some cosmetics. So you can craft walls, tiles, lots of stuff. This used to be where you craft maps, now you buy them from the NPC. There used to be skill stations such as those. Now they're just decoration, but they're still nice. Buildings are the ones here. Storage. This is wardrobes. In those wardrobes, I'm gonna show you in a bit what you can do. You kind of put your gear for a certain character there. You have pet shelter, something new. And then there's reliquary. This is where you craft relic weapons. And the other ones, I'm gonna show you in a moment what they do. This is stonemason. Here you gather stone from stone piles, stone deposits. You gather
So is it
stone.
like presets?
Some more presets. I'm assuming they will be selling some cosmetics later on for the fort, where you can just buy some things. So here in the stonemason you do stuff like this. I have a lot of sandstone block, and if I want to craft 240, I need 480 sandstone. You need twice the amount. Then I have some tin bars. If I want to craft some tin bars, I can do that. Bam. Then if I want ash planks, I don't have enough, so I can just craft, let's say 90. Bam. With those ash walks you craft planks, and with those items you can craft your things for the fort, or instead of crafting things for the fort you can even craft some relic weapons. Each relic weapon requires some rare materials like comet fragment or sacred hardwood or ember ore, and an ember core. The ember cores, you can see here it says which boss in which dungeon drops it. So you kind of just need to farm that specific boss. It doesn't take too long, probably less than 10 runs and you would get it, maybe even 4 or 5. It's the first ember core for the blood drinker you get as a quest reward. So you would start with the blood drinker as a relic weapon. So this is storage. You can only access the storage for your certain class, the wardrobes. You have your shared stash. You start with 3 taps, and you can win more taps from contracts. Contracts currently don't exist in the game. They only gave us a preview of the system during, I think, update 3 or update 4. Now here is the storage. You can store some gear, and you can just immediately change it. Like if you want to put your Hivit set in the wardrobe while you're using your goblin set, you can do so. Or if you want to put your melee set in one wardrobe, your range set in another, and so on. This is kind of how you do it. It's a very nice system and I'm really happy with it. So this is extra cooldown for Vortex Bomb. I can stack shit tons of cooldown for Vortex Bomb with this. I think since I won't be using Rapid Fire at the moment, I can probably do this. I can probably get the Vortex Bomb cooldown since I want to be experimenting with a melee only build at the moment. So I don't want Poison Dart, but I do want Vortex Bomb. So for now I'm gonna just keep this maybe. Going for a Poison build. This is nice, but it's low level. So I'm just quickly checking some gear that I can equip. I'm using Bleeding and Shock for this build. So there are certain legendaries that give unique stats that no other legendary would give you, such as this sword. It's a sword with block chains. No other weapons have block chains. This is the only one. And there's a specific shield. I'm not sure if it's here. It's probably in one of my characters. A shield that gives you chance to bind a target on block. So there's a lot of different things, but in general most legendaries would not be unique yet, but later on they're planning on making legendaries something unique, something that's specific to that certain item, instead of just a blue item with an extra mod. So there's things like this critical hit chance to burning targets. This is something special, and only this one and one more item have this modifier. Okay, let's see, what was I looking for? For some... This is damage for ramming robot. I normally was using Cyclone mode, rapid fire and crit damage. This might be better than the Vortex Bomb bonus, because it's giving me more bonuses. It's not this low level anyways. This is what I needed. Now I've got some extra damage for Cyclone mode, extra crit damage. The hit from rapid fire I don't need, but Cyclone mode is more important for me. I still have 4.7 seconds on Vortex Bomb. With the other item it's probably 4 seconds, 3.2 seconds even. But I don't think I need that much. Stacking the damage on Cyclone mode, which would be my spin to win main skill for this melee only build. For AoEs. Another one with Vortex Bomb cooldown but swoop shot, so I think that's it. I don't think there's much more that I can get from my gear. Decide not to go for a shock. I can go for even more damage on Cyclone mode and ramming robot. I wanna experiment with this. Let's get rid of the shock gauntlets. Now, if I'm getting rid of the shock, I can just go for bleeding. Means I don't need this item, which is chance to shock. I have the shock without the extra bolts, or I can have something like this rapid fire, but I don't need this. Chance to poison and bleeding. Go for poison and bleed, and for the cannon, crit chance and poison. I need something.
Any
Crit chance
idea
and
when
poison
this game
fight.
opens up if I don't get the key?
Now they're saying release date 2019, but that's old info. That has not been updated. I'm assuming 2020 is when the game would be releasing. But there should be an open beta in a few months, 3-4 months maybe. I don't want them to rush the game. I don't want them to release before the game is ready for a release. But open beta might be considered a soft launch, and it's fine. The game is not considered released during open betas. So even if they go for something like that, that's not gonna be a bad option. I think by the end of this year open beta is perfectly reasonable. Maybe October seems like a very good date, October or November for open beta. But who knows? I think we need at least 4 heroes for open beta and at least 3 frontiers, and that might take at least 4 or 5 months more of development, which means next year before the game is good to be released. Otherwise, when you release the game with not enough characters, not enough zones, people always complain. I saw that happening to Chaos Bane, and I don't want this happening to this game. Currently the game doesn't have much in regards to endgame, it only has those maps. They are just temporary fewer for now. Of course there's gonna be more probably later, but for now that's all we have. I'm gonna grab the poison. I'm gonna be doing poison and bleeding. Let's do a map now finally. I'm just gonna put some gear somewhere. I can put some shoulders here. I don't need that extra crit chance. I'm on a melee build.
Well, it's still on early stages and it looks RLY good already.
It does. I can tell you, man, the game for the past few months since I've been playing it changed a lot. And all the changes were good changes. So there is huge potential in the game. And they're actually using it to its best advantage. They're always asking us what we want to do with certain systems. The alpha forums is where they're asking the alpha testers for feedback. And this is a great thing. And also on Discord you can see a lot of discussion happening. You can see a lot of cool people there talking about classes, builds, and all things Torchlight Frontiers. Greatest thing is a map would take you between 5-6 minutes and 10 minutes to complete, which is pretty nice. It's not too time consuming to complete a map. Of course the leveling gets a bit slower. This is, as I said multiple times, my only problem is the leveling kinda gets very slow and grindy after a level, let's say after level 35. The toxic map. The toxic map is the bane of melee builds. It's as if the game wanted to throw me, and so I was gonna be doing a melee build without a single ranged skill. Now I would actually have to go inside those poison toxic fields. If I stay for too long, I'm gonna demonstrate in a moment, I'm gonna die in like second and a half staying inside this field. And there could be multiple fields on top of each other.
Vent heat to use more skills.
Stay here, look how fast my HP.
Your badly hurt.
Okay, I managed to escape before I died. This is how I'm gonna be playing like a melee build. Single target, probably rapid fire would be my choice, although it's not as good, not rapid fire but rapid strike. It's not good as rapid strike for single target. Then you have servo driven uppercut, which can stun walk a target in place. It's not good for multiple targets. For multiple targets you have either the cyclone. This is kind of what I think it would be. This is not a meta build, but since I already have a fully ranged build, I have a hybrid build. For a melee only build if someone wants to go that route.
Your pet is running away.
Having 3 seconds on spinning blade would help, because this is in a way the ranged skill of the build, because you can cast it a bit further from where you are. To cast it. Let's try to stun walk this guy. Look at it. With servo driven uppercut you're kind of stun walking him. The chance is 102%. All the cyclone mode modifiers, I've got 14.1 weapon damage per second. And this does 4 hits, 58% weapon damage each. Look at this, this is a lot of damage. This is the single target for this build. Single target cure. I think anything I hit with this is going to get one shot, unless it's an elite or a boss. But look at it, it's not hitting. It has the same problem that Slugshot is having sometimes. It's very hard to hit some targets. This is why I wasn't using this skill much before. It's very hard to get it to hit a target. Even those egg pots took like 4 hits, 3 and a bit. Seems to be dead, but the model is still staying.
I don't know anything about pet system in this game. Did pets got their own skills, or like in Torchlight 1 or 2nd game, we can add skills which we choose?
New pet system since of the latest can quickly demonstrate it. Let me quickly just get rid of those enemies here. I'm gonna demonstrate what we have currently as the pet system. I just demonstrated it earlier, but I'm gonna show it again. It's still work in progress. It's the very first stage of this pet system, and we only have 8 skills to choose from. You can currently have 4 skills on the pet at the same time, and one can be an aura. So currently this pet is giving me 50% crit chance. I can replace this, but look, it's immediately replacing the crit chance. You can't stack crit chance and movement speed. So if I want movement speed, which is also good for my spin to win build, For spin to win build, regardless whether it's hybrid or a melee, if you don't have the crit chance or if you don't need the crit, you can just go for something like the movement speed bonus. There's another aura for block chance regardless whether you use a shield or not. There's this thing that gives you defense. I like to roll with this or this, depending on the build. With the current build, even this is a nice option, because you're moving faster with Cyclone. Then there's one combat skill, which is a stun. 2 seconds stun each 10 seconds. You can have this is called combat skill, and those are called buffs. The buffs the pets cast themselves every few seconds. So this is each 4 seconds the pet can cast this and give you a 10% damage bonus for 10 seconds. So practically while you're in combat you would permanently be having this 10% increased damage. This is damage resistance. And this is healing. Each 10%, each 10 seconds 10% healing for you and the pet and any allies within range. You can stack multiple hours from multiple people. So the other day I was playing with a partner who was using running partner. Then a few days before that my ally, person from my party, was using the block chance. So if you have 4 people with 4 hours, you would be using all 4 hours. This is how better to play this game as a group now instead of soloing. You can kind of stack more buffs, do the maps faster that way. You can even do something like split pushing. One person can clear if it's like an open map, the other can push another part of the map and then just meet up in the middle once everyone's done. Do the boss fight. The problem with servo driven, as I said, it's very hard to hit with it sometimes. Now I had like 5-6 consecutive non-hits when the enemies were right next to me. Rapid fire could be a downer for this build, but I do want to make a melee only, so I kinda have to deal with it. Okay, now he's gonna be stun walked.
Time to vent.
He's not gonna be able to hit me because I keep stunning. Gaining enough steam to be able to use my vortex bomb. Okay. So if I need some steam, I can probably just use servo driven.
Your pet is running away. You can't use that skill.
So I couldn't move, yeah. Couldn't move. This is what happens when you die. You can pay 10% of your current gold to resurrect at the same place, or you can pay 5% I think of your current gold to resurrect it at the entrance, or you can resurrect at the town. Be able to return.
What pet can wear?
Currently can wear 3 things. Currently the pet can wear a cover, pet cover, and 2 tags. And those bonuses apply only to the pet, not to yourself. So here my pet is getting 58 crit damage, 12 crit chance. Here 53 crit damage, 11 crit chance. And he's getting almost 100% chance to bleed. With this he's getting some chance to block. It's a low level item, but I'm keeping it only because it's giving me block chance. Block chance means he has chance not to get hit at all, so it's much better than some extra defense sometimes. Other stuff, there's stuff that can give you some stun resistance, HP, etc. You just kind of have to find out what works better for you. I personally prefer giving my pet those bloodlust attacks because that's the only attack that has both crit hit chance and crit damage. So if I want to stack crit chance and crit damage, that's my only option. With crit damage, but not both things at the same time. So usually when I do my builds, I always suggest using this item and stacking 2 of those for extra bleeding. Yeah, it's all about freedom here in this game. There's a lot of freedom in what you can do to modify a certain build in a certain way. There may not be much depth currently in regards to build making, but with each update there's been more and more depth added. See, now we have the pets as part of your build. Then we have the relic weapons as part of the build. You have 40 points and you kinda need to choose wisely how to spend them. Otherwise you need to craft a new relic weapon and level it differently. Have things like this. This is the active skill which you use by pressing W. Have something like spinning blade, which you can put in your skill cooldown, and each relic weapon has one of those skills. So the poison weapon has a spider. I can show you in a moment. I'm gonna switch character just to show you. The poison weapon has like a big spider that you can push through, and then there's this thing rupture that this one has. Decide whether you want more damage for spinning blade or more cooldown. When maxed out, this is 3 seconds cooldown, so I decided to go for the cooldown. The other skills when maxed out are 4 seconds. So this is the fastest one in all the relic weapons.
I still don't like zoom in when you open inventory. A lot of people also don't like, but developers ignore to add option to disable that effect.
Good. Have you talked to them? I haven't actually heard anyone not enjoying this, but I haven't talked to many people. I personally don't enjoy it much as well. But I'm not like it doesn't bother me much, but I would prefer not to have this. Yeah, I would prefer not to have it. I'd much rather be able to just zoom in myself if I want to zoom in instead of zooming in with that. See, I don't mind those things showing up, but I'd rather be able to open the inventory and be able to move with an open inventory. With the map, I would rather be able to move with an open map, even if it's just an overlay like most RPGs have it. Be much better. So I can quickly show you some of the other relic weapons. So the other relic weapons, if you wanna see them.
Yes, I told them, maybe I will remind them.
Have you sent feedback here or on the alpha forums about this? It's always nice to send feedback here, because this creates a ticket in the Jira system, in the ticketing system. So the other relic weapons, if you wanna see them quickly, that's kind of the Bane skill. Hello official Buddha I Smokes, welcome to my Twitch channel and welcome to the Struck Club, thank you for the follow. So this is the venomous mole. It kind of poisons enemies that it passes, and it has a long range as you see, and maxed out from 8 seconds it's all the way to 4 seconds. Currently it's glitched as you see.
Inside the game.
It shouldn't be 8 seconds, it should be 4.8 seconds for me, but when you change relic weapons sometimes there's a glitch, I'm not sure why. See, that's 4.8 seconds with the same amount of cooldown reduction. Oh no, this is even 3 points in cooldown reduction. It's showing wrong numbers, look at it, it's showing wrong numbers, it's not supposed to be showing those numbers. See, it showed 4.7, then 6 point something, so there is obviously some glitch here when you keep changing the weapons. Let's try again. Cooldown is as fast as it needs to be, just showing the wrong numbers.
Walking spider poison looks cool.
This is nice, and then you have those 8-legged allies. If you kill a poisoned enemy, it summons a spider. And when you max it out, it's a 90% chance, don't look at it. It's showing me the last weapon I was wearing. It's showing the stats of the last weapon I was wearing. So 90% chance to summon spider, and you can have 10 additional spiders from the 2 base, so 12 spiders. So this is good for like summoner builds. I can quickly demonstrate it in a public zone if you want me to. Let me quickly grab the other one. I'm gonna go to a public zone just to show you how this weapon works. Currently it doesn't work in maps, only in public zones. That's why I'm gonna go to this one. And with the current pet system you kind of have to farm pets from pet cages. There are different maps where you can get the pet cages, and at the end of the map, after you kill the boss, there will be a cage. You open the cage and then there's a chance to get a pet with a certain skin. There's wolf, dog, alpaca, owl, and drake. So wolf, dog, alpaca, owl, and drake. 5 pet skins, and each pet that you get has a random chance of giving you a skill. So each of those skills can be given at any time from any pet cage. So let me quickly show you. That's killing a poisoned enemy, and then there you have it. We have some spiders running after me. So you can have up to 12 of those running after you, killing stuff together with you. So you just have to poison an enemy and kill the poisoned enemy to have this one spawned. It's a 90% chance when maxed out. So as long as you're poisoning the enemies before you kill them, there's pretty much gonna be always maxed out in regards to those spiders. Of course, I'm not gonna get any XP in this zone since it's a level 27-29 zone. So I'm gonna go quickly to the town just to buy some maps. I didn't like and they changed was crafting maps in your town. It used to take like 20-25 seconds to craft a map. Now it takes less than a second. You just it's instant now. You just select the map and map type and just buy it. I really didn't see a point in wasting 25 seconds just waiting for a map to get crafted, and I'm very happy that they changed it, and now I can just immediately craft whatever I want, whatever map I need to do. If you want to see another class, let me quickly change character. I'm gonna start with the mage, then I'm gonna show you a bit of the rail master. I should have saved the poison relic weapon to give it to the mage. Currently with the mage I'm playing with a fire setup. So first of all, let's see what maps I've got on the mage. I've got Hivit maps, so I'm gonna equip Hivit potions. So there's 2 potions, one for for each frontier. This one is instantly recover 60% HP, this one is 25% HP and additional 10% per second for 5 seconds. So this is altogether 75% total. This is 60, but all of it is instantly. So it's up to you which potion you want to use. Just keep in mind that in certain frontiers only certain potions drop. Hope you can buy them both. This is how you gather. I have not shown it today. This is how you gather. Those are in my opinion the two most powerful mage skills. Currently my skills are set up for a summoner build. I'm gonna reset them later, I think. I have a free respec. I'm gonna figure out another build. The next build I'll be doing would be a beam build with Holy Fury. Holy Fury is this skill. Your typical channeling skill. I'm gonna be doing this tomorrow as a build video. So I'm gonna reset and respec those skills later. Let's just quickly do another map with this setup. As a nerf, a need wall buff, debuff. Before you could apply 50% movement speed with this skill and 50% movement speed with this and have the enemy stay in one place. Now the limit is 80% from all sources.
Insufficient mana.
Items or those skills, it doesn't matter, it will always be 80% limit. This is a good balance. If doing that to just keep enemies in their tracks. So currently I'm playing with only level 22 relic, so I can't show you the ultimate skill where some meteors fall from the sky. I'm doing this to just level up some new relic weapons with different setups than what I'm using. You can see pretty solid build. Basically I can do entropy and in the meantime while it's traveling do energy spike and just keep rotating in this way. And if I want some extra damage I can use those summons. When maxed out those summons you can have 4 of those portals at the same time, which means 4 times 6 little netherlings around your side at the same time for 4 seconds, and you can have all of the time 3 of those up, so you can have 18 netherlings all of the time if you constantly keep spamming spirit well. But the nature of the game is such that you don't stay in place, so you would never see those stacking unless you really spent a lot of time clearing a zone. You're mostly running through the dungeon, killing stuff very fast with a few hits, so you never would need to have that many of those netherlings at the same place. But on bosses it does help. If the boss takes you more than a few seconds, you would probably be able to cast it twice. But eventually when you max out your gear for the end game, it would not require that much to kill a boss. This is one of my feedbacks for the developers, that I think the end of map bosses need to be a bit more difficult. Maybe not more difficult in regards to damage they do and abilities, but it would be nice to have multiple phases and to be a bit more tanky, to have a bit more HP. Think like a ability sponge, a skill sponge type of monster. It would be nice to have those mechanics that stun you, do some AoEs in a cone or in a circle. White Vault has charge stun, then he has phases that spawn enemies, and White Vault is a boss in the Goblin Frontier. For phases that spawn enemies it has charging stun, and then at its final 25% he starts summoning spikes from the ceiling that can fall on the ground and stun you if you're standing where they're gonna fall. The game is broadcasting where the spikes will fall, so you have some bit of time to move away from it. So that type of bosses is what I would like to see. It doesn't take too long to kill them, but it also isn't just a few skills and boom, the boss is ready. Currently this frontier is suffering from weak bosses, because even some of the elites might be more powerful than the bosses. But this is alpha, this is all work in progress. Most of those are just placeholder elites, placeholder end of map bosses, until they are done with more powerful bosses to put in their place. And most of those are just at the end of the map, there isn't a second zone. So there isn't a loading screen in this zone, that's why leveling in this frontier is a bit faster. Density, you have a lot of elites in this frontier. Also in a few minutes, like 10 minutes or so, I'm gonna have to mute my microphone because it's 12:25 a.m. so 25 past midnight. Usually around 12:30 I mute my microphone. So if you have any questions, anything you want me to show you, do let me know. I'm gonna try to answer. Some for the Twitch follow, welcome to the Struck Club, dude. It is appreciated. Very smooth gameplay in regards to how to do those maps. If you're not careful, some maps might end up killing you, like the toxic maps. If you stay in the toxic pools, you can die within a second and a half, depending on your HP. And I think it doesn't even depend on your HP, it's percent based drain. I tested it with a build with 50,000, this one is with 26,000, and it was dying as fast as this one. So 50,000 HP got drained as fast as 26,000 did. So it seems like the poison fields, the toxic fields on a toxic map, each map has a different mod. This is Nimbo, and Nimbo is increased attack speed for every enemy in the map. So there's different map mods for different frontiers, like this one has toxic noxious, whereas the goblin frontier has like fire resistant emulator. Emulator is like spawning bombs. This one has a poison resistance sometimes. There's general mods like double HP. Nimbo is a general mod. Lethal, which is increased crit chance and crit damage for the enemies, is also general for both frontiers. I wanna show you the leveled up flaming destroyer. And what I'll do is I'll go on my Realm Master to show you this. Currently my Realm Master is in a very nice train build with good synergy for that relic weapon. And the Realm Master train build is surprisingly clearing maps faster than it did before update 7. It's like the train build somehow ended up being more powerful than it was before. Before I didn't enjoy it that much, it wasn't as fluid to play it, now it seems more fluid. And I ended up clearing a map in like around 6 minutes yesterday. A high bit map. Not sure what this gear is here, probably some wood. Yeah, this is probably looted from some bosses when I was recording footage yesterday. Let me quickly sell it and then I'm gonna start a high bit map. Thing that's good is you can give your pet items, it goes into the pet inventory, and then while you're farming you can send the pet to the town. It can sell the items and bring you money. It takes him 2 minutes I think or 2 minutes and a half, I need to check. So let's go to a map and quickly show you. While the pet is gone, you're not receiving the pet buffs, of course, but it's saving you time. Instead of you returning to the town, you can keep on grinding, keep on farming. And when you're new to the game, it would really help you with the money to keep picking up the white and green items and just getting your pet to keep selling them. So this probably would be the final map before I mute my microphone, but I will still keep playing with muted microphone afterwards. What I mean by train build. You have the train, and now even while I'm building trucks I can do skills and it will keep building trucks as I'm moving. This is something that didn't behave that way. So now this build is very pleasant to play for me, that was not enjoying the build before. So 12 seconds before I can show you the ultimate of this relic weapon. So before I used to use Ghost Train for this build, now I think using Sword Smash instead of Ghost Train and just spamming those dynamites might end up being a better choice. This is the ultimate, those meteors. So you, this is a shotgun car and flamethrower car. Both of those cars, as well as the other train car skills, have an active skill which you put in your skill bar. And look at the flamethrower. Now I'm gonna do this. It immediately started the flamethrower in the place I told it to. Then I'm gonna do shotgun car, sniping shot. Look at, pay attention where my cursor is. So this is the sniping shot. This is the active skill. And while they're within the range of the train, which is those red circles you see here, the train would be attacking them. Each train car has its own range and its own different basic attack. So you have the default train car, then you have the flamethrower and the shotgun, together with two other cars which are mortar and shield. Show you what shield and mortar does. Currently you cannot do mortar and flamethrower together, and you cannot do shield and shotgun. So you can do what? You can do shield and mortar, or shield and flamethrower. Flamethrower and shield, or flamethrower and shotgun. And of course the other options. One car could be combined with two others, but not with the third. You can kind of have only two at the same time. So you can see now this is the shield car. It gives you extra shield boost, and once you leave its premise, you get a buff for a few seconds. If you do number 2, like if you do that, it gives you that extra shield. So this is the more defensive option. I do prefer to go in a more offensive option when playing the train. Mortar is kind of this, I'm gonna show you quickly. So it just does like a mortar shot that sets the ground on fire. I do think with the fire build playing the flamethrower and the shotgun are better. Shotgun gives this extra piercing. The flamethrower is the same linear. It's not piercing, but in a way it is, because it's a beam that burns anything in its wake. And then you have of course the meteors as an ultimate from the relic weapon. Those meteors come from here, from Rain of Fire, which is a level 30 relic weapon skill for the Flaming Destroyer. Sword Smash, which is my left mouse button, is another skill from the relic weapon. And ideally I would have 10 points here for a faster cooldown, but even 4.8 instead of 4 seconds is acceptable. This applies vulnerability, so the enemies take extra damage. After I hit them with the dynamite, I can just finish them with the train or with my own skills. Hammer Spin gives me extra movement speed, so it's a great escape and movement skill. It actually does knockback to everything around you. As I said, you can just knock back enemies that have sequestered around you if you want to escape, or you can just use it for extra movement speed to move faster around the map. Class is fun. That's not the build I normally play. I normally play a build without the train. I normally max out every single skill here, and I play more of an AoE close range kind of warrior type. This build is more fun than it used to be before, and that's why I decided to spend some more time playing it. And I just walked into this character just to show you this flaming destroyer skill. What is it called? Rain of Fire. The meteors falling from the sky, the ultimate. There are different items that can modify the cooldown. Like there was an item I found the other day that gave me 32 or 33% recharge time for this skill, for the active relic weapon skill. Which means instead of 120 seconds it will be 30% less. So what is that? 40 seconds less. Roughly, so pretty nice if you want to go for a build that's centered around the active skill. There's items that give you regen, not regen but duration. Duration of this skill. So once you press W and you keep killing enemies during this active phase, it gives you some extra duration on kill. So as long as you keep killing, you would keep this active skill going on if you have such an item setup that is stacking this bonus. But that's also a thing. If you wanna keep spamming this build, this skill for this build, then you can probably try and get that type of gear. So they've added more and more affixes on the items. They've added more mods to armors, to weapons. So they're giving us more flexibility. Before we can only get crit chance from shoulders, weapons and offhands. Now we can get crit chance together from those three items together with helmet, leg armor and chest armor. I'm not sure about those two, but I know about those three being able to give crit chance. Very nice. Extra duration for the debuff of blasting charge. Perfect for this specific build. It's a great synergy. And attack speed is boosted. Now one bonus can give you like 75% attack speed. We switch to basic attack. On a mace. I'm gonna now show you attack speed on a staff without the 75%. And this is a staff with the... So 75% is great, and if you have two bonuses of 75%, that's gonna be like 150% extra attack speed for the weapon for basic attacks, if you decide to go for a build with basic attacks. But this class receives bonuses for rail hammer damage. So if you max this out, it gives you rail hammer damage bonus. So if you wanna go the two-handed route, I would strongly suggest playing with a rail hammer. I don't have one to show you, I have some in my warehouse. But rail hammer is the class specific weapon that only rail masters can wield. And it's good even if you don't want to go for like a mixture of elements like I do, with main hand, off hand, like poison and fire stacking I think at the moment. And that's still fine, or poison and shock, or fire and shock. Stacking only fire and some extra damage. Earlier I was stacking this with some poison off hand. There's currently a bit more depth than the last update, and there's a lot of theory crafting to be done. Still nowhere near theory crafting in games like Path of Exile and the likes, but that doesn't mean the game isn't fun. It's a bit more simple, it's a bit easier to get the hang of for new players, and it's not something as shocking for a new player as the passive tree in Path of Exile per se, and the gem system in Path of Exile. Of course, even Path of Exile is, once you spend some time in it, it gets kind of very clear what you need to do and how to build some things. But this game is more suitable for the more casual players. Especially if you have, if you're a parent and you have kids you want to play with, this would probably be the ARPG you would want to be playing with your kids. It will be very easy for them to play it, even if they pick the non-meta skills. Like there's no such thing as like wrong skills, but even if they don't pick the skills that would give them the best damage output, they would still be able to complete the content and keep leveling up. So I'm gonna mute my mic, I'm gonna quickly go back to the mage.
don't have enough mana. You need more mana. Insufficient mana.
You don't talk. Oh, I just read the advertisement. Understandable. Aha.
Insufficient mana. You are overburdened. Vent heat. Vent heat to use more skills.
Take a look around. Glad you stopped by.
Sounds pretty good. Had to switch it to here cause my Twitch was acting up, happy face.
What can I get for you? Good luck on your travels.
Plenty to use more skills. Crafting complete. Your pet has fled.
Hey man, how are you today?
You are wounded. Your life is slipping away. Time to vent heal. Your pet has returned.
I'm good man, I'm glad you're playing the Forged. I feel that Forged is the least played class right now. People like mages in every game. I think I'll start with the Forged when I get access. I hope they buff the forged or no one will play. Looks good.
Vent excess heat. Your pet is fleeing.
You know, if someone is asking to buff him in the forums, you could share your ideas there. Let's hope they see them.
Your pet has arrived.
Or slow movement speed. There's so much they can do right now. Welp, I gotta go. THX for the stream, happy face. Is your potion different? I don't remember a butterfly wing on it.
I'm sure I've got something. Thank you for shopping.
I see you're using your new dragon, he looks so pretty.
Time to vent. vent heat to use more skills. That spell can't be cast. Time to vent heat. Time to vent. Your pet has arrived.
Take a look around. Thank you for shopping.
Vent heat to use more skills. Time to vent heat. Your pack is full. key to use more skills.
You know if this game can be downloaded without a key? I know I won't be able to play, but I would like to have it downloaded so I wouldn't have to wait to download when I get one. Alright, thanks.
Can't carry anymore. Your pet is running away.
They added so many things in their Trello. Forged Locomoto Madness LOL. He will have different feed types. They had only 3 things in work in progress a few days ago. Maybe it's not so close to release date after all.
sure I've got something you need. Thank you for shopping.
You need more endurance.
BTW, the music is from the game. XD. Long time. That was a nice one with the piano. DW. I already tell that to all my friend, it's too late. I will clean myself by saying it's your fault, NP. Exactly. If you like games with beautiful soundtrack, check out Ori and the Blind Forest. The game sound/art is incredible.
You need more endurance.
Puzzle, action, single player. Ori 2 will game multiplayer stuff. Will have asterisk. Won many awards. Not me.
Your pet has arrived.
You are able to reset all skill points? I thought they wouldn't allow that. Oh, that's a nice thing to make people test all skills. Are you able to get respects in game? For like a high price? Smart features. At struck underscore TLFOPA mono. SEE ACL MMORPGQ and Daviser? At Blackca7 underscore sim, ELE now fala português. Smiley face. Okay. Now tem data Masai M 2019 at Blackca7 underscore. Twitch thinks it's an MMO but it's similar. Thanks for information.
mystic, I say shrewd. See you next time. next time.
frontier level has increased.